I feel like let's make sure we're not holding Trajan Langdon accountable for Troy Weaver mistakes.
Right.
Because that's going on right now with Scott Harris and Avila.
Yeah, and I think that Piston fans will be fair with him. I think you go back to the Troy Weaver era, and he came in so hot, right? First draft, making deals.
Yeah.
On that first day, getting 3 first-round picks. It was watching a draft at home going, oh, my God, they just made another deal. Pistons made another deal. What is going on?
Yep.
And obviously with varying degrees of success, and now here it is a few years later, and the team is just an absolute, unmitigated disaster. So, in a way, I even think this is something that makes it even more attractive because you're kind of getting in on the ground level, and what do you have to work with? Got a guy like Cade Cunningham, who I can build around. Mm-hmm. Got another very young, talented player in Jalen Duren. You've got Asar Thompson. You got a shooter in Fontecchio. And then you got to figure out what you've got with the rest of the crew. Do you have something with Jaden Ivey or not? Is Isaiah Stewart, you didn't sign him to the contract. The previous guy did. Is that somebody you want to hang on to in this point? And they've got a handful of others that they have to consider. Marcus Sasser looks like he's got some talent. I think overall there is talent on the team, but unfortunately it's just put together poorly, and they don't have enough of the high-end talent.
I was listening to some talk about this over the weekend, and there's reports I haven't been able to confirm. Kang, were you able to confirm that Gores told Langdon you can move on from Monty Williams if you so choose?
I never saw
Okay.
those. No.
If that is true, let's think about what he's telling him. Remember when they went to hire Monty Williams and he said no, and Tom Gores and Troy Weaver went back with more money and made him at the time the highest paid coach in the NBA at over $13 million a year? Basically gave him an offer he couldn't refuse. He is 1 year into a deal that he is owed over $65 million. If it is true that the owner, Tom Gores, told Trajan Langdon, if you want to move in on this guy, move on from this guy, I'll eat the $65 million. That is one hell of a financial hit for an owner to take 1 year in to a 6-year contract that at the time was the highest paying contract in the NBA. Now, there might be some outs in there. There might be something where he's not responsible for all of it.
I would imagine, given what it took to lure Monty Williams to coach again, which was absolutely money.
Yeah.
And then the situation was interesting. He was going to take over, but I never thought his heart was in it. Now, is it now? That's what you have to ask yourself. Is he ready to coach now? Is he invested enough where he wants to make a difference and stay here? If so, great, because I think he's a plus coach. If he's still not sure and he wants to get out of the situation, he can simply have that conversation now with Trajan Langdon and Tom Gores and say, look, I'm done. I'm wiped out. I don't want to do this anymore. And I would imagine they could work out a settlement that doesn't include the full money he's due in the contract.
Well, I would I guess it's not my money. I don't really care. And Gores, look, that doesn't mean Gores is a great owner. He's part of the reason why he'd have to eat $65 million is because he hired the wrong GM, and then then that GM went out and got the wrong coach for this group.
No one has uttered that phrase.
What?
Gores is a great owner.
No.
No one has ever said that.
No, but financially, if he's willing to take that hit because it's in the best interest of the team,
respect it.
There can be amount of respect. Now, it's a problem that was created by him bringing in the wrong people. So it's not like, it's a stamp of, wow, this guy's great, but that would be one heck of a financial hit for a guy to take and basically get nothing out of a coach that you made the highest paid coach and then paid him for 1 year, if it's true that Langdon can't move on. Kang, do you have any thoughts about it as a resident hardcore NBA fan?
I mean, I'm not breaking news here. The Pistons are the worst team in the NBA. They just are. Troy Weaver left, and he built a terrible roster. But he didn't leave the cabinet completely bare. He does have a possible foundational piece in Cade Cunningham. And then there's other possible role players that would be good role players on a good team. The problem is they're asked to do much more. I'm talking about Jalen Duren. I'm talking about Asar Thompson, okay? What else we were also left, though, was a lot of cap space. Now, this is an attractive job because of those things I just mentioned. And there's only 32 of them, like you guys said also. When you're named the president of basketball operations, I would hope that you would have the power to let go of the head coach if you want. I mean, one of the first things he did was let go of Troy Weaver, right? I mean, there's the reports out there that they asked Weaver if he wanted to stay under some kind of scouting department, but no one's going to take that type of demotion, so they parted ways.